We're recording, I believe. So welcome to Math 211. I'm Michael Littlecrow. You can call me Dr. Mike. You can call me Michael, Mike Littlecrow, Elsie, whatever works for you. I know a number of you in this course worked with me last semester on Math 210, and I hope that was a successful endeavor for you. Maybe that's why you're back. As you may have read, I'm in Pathum Thani, Thailand right now, and I won't be able to return until the afternoon of January 9th on Tuesday. So I decided to have a virtual first day class because this is an introduction to the class. I really can't get a substitute to tell you what I'm going to do. I've got people who would do it, but they would tell you maybe the syllabus. So I wanted to do it this way. I'll work through the syllabus with you, kind of set the stage. A few things for you to do. You'll be able to get started on those. And then we'll call this a good first day, and we will physically be together on Wednesday, January 10th, for our first full lecture. So let me go ahead and share my screen, which is, let's see, what do I want to share? I'll do my desktop. Sure. I can switch back and forth. This is our syllabus. I think I just decided, as you know, I kind of change up as I go. Let me show you the Canvas course. This is where we'll start. It's a sort of a bare bones sort of Canvas course. So there's this getting started, a register for our homework system, which is WebAssign. So it should be very similar for those of you who've taken Math 210 at ASU recently. We're using the same system, homework system. So there's a link in here and there's a code. I'll just click on this real quick. If you click on this, it should copy the course key in there, and you should just basically do pretty much what you did last time, get yourself set up in the course. This is our course key if you should happen to need that. So that's really the first step. If you need any assistance with that, we can maybe look at that the first day, talk about my office hours and such, so we can get all that done. But hopefully you can get at least that started. Review the syllabus. We'll do that a little bit together here in our first day, virtual first day. That's probably where you came first. That's why you're watching this video, right? Anyway, that's where that link is. And that'll get us started. I've broken up the material. And again, I kind of may be getting ahead of myself, but we have 3 exams and the content, the exams do not overlap. So we will study some content, test it, you'll do awesome. And then we'll go learn some more stuff. We'll review it, we'll do awesome. And then we'll review the last stuff and have a final exam over only that stuff. So we'll take a look. That's all in the syllabus. Right now, I just have the calendars. What will start to appear here as we do content is I will post my lecture slide deck that I use. The textbook company provides sort of outline stuff. I'll use what they have, but I'll adapt it. I will also record each class session, do a screen capture of what I'm sharing and my voice. So again, it helps those who maybe have a learning style like mine, where it's helpful to focus on maybe the live lecture and then come back and watch a recording. Maybe that's when I do my notes, or follow up on notes later, however it works for you. Or for those days you aren't able to be there, those will be there for you. So again, bare bones, but a good start for things. So now let's go ahead and get into our syllabus and sort of see the overlying things. So this is our information. Our classes is from 8 to 8:50. Early, but not too early. I had a 7:30 class last semester, so we have 50-minute periods. We're in core 174. It's a nice little complex there. I will keep my office hours directly after that time period, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'll go to my office, work for an hour. If no one comes, if somebody comes, that's a great time to work together. And then I plan after 10 o'clock from 10 to 11 to do online office hours for I have 2 online classes, kind of make myself available for them If you need to, you could drop in there. This is the same, uh, my basic Zoom link that the university provides me will be available, so I can get that to you. And if you needed to, you could pop in then. My email address, best way to get a hold of me. And again, I did not write the syllabus. Sometimes I'm a little critical about tone. I don't like, I like to be positive all the time. So, um, but this is what the coordinators provided, and that's, it whenever we write something, it incorporates part of uh, a personality. So our materials, the textbook is embedded into WebAssign. So once you get that access to do the homeworks, you'll have access to the ebook. You should have a graphing calculator, and it really is required. We're doing some things with matrices, some other things where you're really going to want it. There's some additional videos listed here, um, and again, I'll be providing resources as we go. Let's see. So here's kind of I for me the syllabus. It's part I spend the most time on is sort of pacing us through the course. So we've got this virtual first class meeting. Wednesday we will start into 4.1, which is a review of systems of linear equations, which sets us up to something called linear programming in chapter 6. And then, as you see, we kind of get back into the calculus, um, with partial derivatives and maximum and minimum and those kind of things. Uh, so we'll just keep moving along. The goal is, as far as the homework, I've got all of the homeworks have the same due date. So all for exam 1, the due date is the day of the exam. That does not mean wait till the day of exam to start working on them, right? You got to, my suggestion is as soon as we go over it, you start into it, work a few of them. But I want to give you the flexibility to, there might be one or two or three, whatever, some challenging ones, and you need a little extra time. Maybe you have better uh, access to things on the weekends, whatever that may be. I'm allowing you to sort of drive, um, the time period, but be careful. If you're like me, if I don't have to do it right away, sometimes I put it off because I could just watch reruns of Gilligan's Island or something like that. I haven't watched those in a long time, but anyway, I could find something else to fill my time with rather than doing math, right? But anyway, please pace yourself. These are, as long as you can keep up, that would be good. We will be having some in-class, what I call group quizzes, and that's exactly what it means. Is we will be working together on things that will be like test questions. So it'll be an opportunity to work through things, but to successfully, um, prepare as we go along. I haven't developed them yet, but I'll figure out what it is. If you are not able to make that class, then the worksheet that we use, the quiz, it will be available to you. Hopefully you can get it done over that next weekend. You could work with others. So you got some friends in the class or something, maybe, and you're not going to be in class, maybe make that arrangement, because that's really what they're going to be designed for, is to be learned through working together, talking it out. And if you do that, you're going to be much better prepared for when we get to the exams. We'll revisit some of those things in the exam reviews. The thing is, the quizzes are, as we're going to see, is worth, I think, about 10% of your total grade. So these will be activities we'll somehow assess. The main thing is that you'll go through and work them, and we'll get them correct, and it's sort of a formative type assessment that I'm looking at to see that you're learning, you're on track, and they will allow me to adjust my teaching to maybe go back over some things that, hey, we sort of missed this, but no one got this, so let's review it. Or hey, everybody got this. Okay, that's good. Uh, so that's what those are there for. Okay, you'll see with each of the exams, I was able to schedule in 2 review periods, class periods. So we'll strategically, um, work through some activities there, so that you'll be well prepared for the exam. And again, once we do exam 1, it's over the concepts of the material we've covered up here, and then we're done with those concepts. Uh, Test two starts after that, that we have some other content matrices, and some of these things are completely different, right? So there's calculus, there's probability, there's stuff with matrices, linear programming. There's some things that will be connected, but other than that, there will each exam will directly go over the types of questions from the homework that are in those sections. Got a spring break in here, and then for our last exam, and this is important as you put in your schedules together, the final is a common final, which means we take it in a weird time, right? We have a morning class, but final is Thursday night at 7:10. Um, so Thursday of finals week, May 2nd. Put it on your calendar. Uh, yeah, you might like to, you have no other finals, you want to leave early. I understand that, but you got to be there. This is the day of the test, and you'll see there's a lot of verbiage about, hey, you can't just decide not to make it. Um, there are reasons, of course, if you're sick, um, we'll work with you. Okay. So again, all this stuff, test three, not comprehensive, just over those. And again, we've worked in 2 good review days. So I think the pacing of this class will work nicely. This is the first time I've taught this particular class. I've taught many of these concepts before, and we used to have a class called finite math um, that was sort of this, and then they changed it into what we got here. So I will, uh, being this is my first time through, we'll work on the pacing. We might get a little ahead, we might get a little behind, but we'll stay on track, and we'll use these Friday in class group work, in class applications. Those are going back over things, so we have some uh, time to work with in this, so that we're all going to be okay, stay on track. I'll let you read through a lot of this stuff. I haven't read it all, but basically, the homework shouldn't. Uh, the homeworks are due on the day of the exam, so you need to be hopefully ready for that exam. It doesn't. It really won't do you much benefit as far as doing well on the exams to do the homework after the exam, right? So get it done beforehand, um, and we don't have to worry too much about due dates because there's not a lot of them. There's basically the due dates of the exams. Uh, Again, here's a link to get started. So verbiage that there's 2 midterms, exam 1 and 2 considered midterm exam because they happen during the term. Um, and we do them in class. So make sure you're there. A final exam is not comprehensive. It's over that one set of stuff, but it is at a different time than our class meeting. So that's what we've got. Again, you can read through it, all of this. Attendance, you should be in class, but again, I do record each lecture. We may run into some technical difficulties as we did last semester from time to time. I'll do my best to make those up, but um, I, I don't anticipate that happening too much. Anyway, my goal is to give you access to all the information. And this even puts in here that, yeah, it's possible that you are going to miss some classes. But these exam dates, if you can get them recorded in your personal calendar, looking forward to them and making sure you'll be able to make those. And basic classroom behavior, much like last semester. Again, I know some of you maybe new, but remember, I have really 2 rules that I use to work by, and that is that the main rule is that we are the owner of our actions. Whenever we do an action, we are the ones who have done it. We've created that, and there are 2 types of actions: skillful actions, which move us forward, move us and others forward. Unskillful actions don't get us to where we want to go, and they can also be something that causes harm to either ourselves or others. Those are all unskillful, anything that would cause that. So as you remember, we're in a community trying to learn. Let's be respectful of other people, respectful of ourselves. And if we're going to come to class and sit there, let's not read a newspaper or listen to music. Let's focus on the class. If we want to read a newspaper or listen to music instead of listening to the class, go do that somewhere else and then watch the lecture on video. That's sort of, I think everything could be a win for all of us. We just have to find those ways. Okay. Here's our exam one. Each exam's 25%, so that's 75% of your grade from the exams. Completing the homework, understanding it hopefully too, but completing that is 15% across the board. And I realize that every online homework system has glitches where it might not count something. It wants it as a fraction. You put it as a decimal something. So we'll work with that. If you can get at least to 90%, but we'll talk about that. And then the quizzes, those are the in-class stuff that we're doing as group work, but they need to be completed um, because they're going to build your understanding. So that's 10% of the grade total. But I highly expect that this 25% for the homework and quizzes, you will be able to get 100% of those. Just work with me on those. Then the exams will take care of themselves. So if we do well with the homework and the quizzes together, and the exam preps, we can all work together so that everyone can do very well. This is the grading scale that's provided. So again, I'll let you look through that. There's some student resources, tutoring, online tutoring, those kind of things. There is no extra credit. Course withdrawal dates, all this stuff. This is a lot of verbiage that is pretty much in every syllabus, but I'll let you take a look at those things. Really nothing much more for us to cover there. So again, try to keep up with this pacing schedule. The system won't give you reminders, oh, this one's due here, this one's due there. You can kind of decide, create your own due dates, but keep on track. Okay. So in class group work quiz is going to be over some of this previous stuff each time. So you need to be on track with that. All right, I think that's really all I have for us. Other than maybe a motivational part, is this course, it's kind of like what we call this, a summary course. It is it presents a lot of different tools for mathematics that will help you in deciding various business situations. In your particular field, you may not use some of these. That's, and again, some of you, depending upon what you're in, may use them more or less. But we want you to have knowledge of these tools that are available so that when you do get into a situation, maybe you aren't the one who does the mathematics behind it, maybe, but hey, let's go to the yellow pages and look up matrix professionals, whatever. You will know there's a mathematics that will help solve that particular type of problem. You'll find a person who could do the technical side of it, and then you can use that results of that technical study to make good business decisions and move your organization onto greater success. That's my goal in working with you, not to make you into mathematicians, but to give you experience working with these various tools and ways of thinking mathematically, problem solving through things of as much as we can, tying into applications that would be fitting for the types of degrees you're in and fields you're studying. Okay. So there's some statistics stuff in here, probability. It's all in there. It's all good stuff. And anyway, that's the end of our first day of class. Remember, go in, get registered for the WebAssign, maybe take a little bit of look at it in advance. What else do you need to do? WebAssign, that's the main thing. Look over the syllabus we just did, but yeah, maybe, if you got any questions, send them to me. And then let's meet up on Wednesday and we'll get moving forward looking at systems of linear equations. I haven't looked at it myself yet, but I've done it before. So I will have something interesting to talk about there, and we'll keep moving forward. Looking forward to working with you. Hopefully, um, you're looking forward to it as well. Let's make it a good semester together, successful, uh, and beneficial. Care.